non so cosa sia la felicità, la ragione del mio canto, che resistere non può ad un così dolce pianto che mutò l'amore mio. E se anche il sorgere del sole ci trovasse ancora insieme, per favore dimmi no, rende stupidi anche i saggi, l'amore mio. Se dentro l'anima tu fossi musica e il sole fosse dentro a te, se fossi veramente dentro l'anima mia, allora sì che udir potrei nel mio silenzio il mare calmo della sera.
It was The Calm Sea of the Evening, sung and played by the conductor Salvatore. Thanks to my friend Carla who suggested this and others songs of this episode 292 today, Sunday, July 22, 2018. Today we celebrate those who have Magdalene by name. We remember Mary of Magdala, and I remember that the death of Jesus made her lose the meaning of life. She sought and did not stop looking for Jesus. There are moments in life in which it seems that everything is finished. Jesus lets himself be found. Who seeks him with a restless heart, without peace, without ever to give oneself up by winning, he allows himself to be found. And so the encounter with friendship can give meaning back to our lives and make us discover that love is stronger than death and defeat. Let us seek Jesus, let us love him, let us give him that honor which is due to him. He is the risen one that never stops loving us. The title of today's icon is Take Jesus with You on Holiday, and we are preparing to listen to the Gospel according to Mark chapter 6 verses 30-34. They were like sheep without a shepherd.
The apostles gathered around Jesus and reported to him all they had done and taught. Then, because so many people were coming and going that they did not even have a chance to eat, he said to them, "Come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest." So they went away by themselves in a boat to a solitary place. But many who saw them leaving recognized them and ran on foot from all the towns and got there ahead of them. When Jesus landed and saw a large crowd, he had compassion on them because they were like sheep without a shepherd, so he began teaching them many things.
Jesus welcomes and listens with joy to his disciples who have returned to tell him about the beautiful things that have happened. Do we rejoice in others? I would say we are like this, envious of the happiness of others. His apostles understand they need to rest now, even though so many people there is to heal and free, but no, he tells it to take a holiday. Interesting to take holidays with Jesus. Life is also tiring for committed lay nuns, priests in social life, in catechesis, in evangelization. The Lord realizes this and invites us to be a little with him. Next to Jesus, the disciple recovers strength, refreshes, learns, and is again ready to serve others. To be with God, you never lose, you always earn money. He has compassion both for the apostles but also for the crowd, seeing it as sheep without a shepherd. What a clear image that of wandering like sheep without a shepherd, abandoned to themselves. Lost and sad. Seekers of a non-existent joy. Fragile without that is, without someone who knows where to lead us. We have many masters but few shepherds. Now I pick up the guitar and try to sing in the gardens that no one knows of. Renato Zero. Just a few seconds and I try.
È un rifugio quel malessere, troppa fretta in quel tuo crescere, non si fanno più miracoli, adesso non più. Non dar retta a quelle bambole, non toccare quelle pillole, quella sola un bel carattere, ci sa fare con le anime. Darei gli occhi miei per vedere ciò che non vedi, l'energia e l'allegria per strapparti ancora sorrisi. Sì, 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 e riuscirti a farti volare dove vuoi, dove sai, senza più quel peso sul cuore. Nasconderti le nuvole, quell'inverno che ti fa male, curarti le ferite e poi qualche dente in più per mangiare, e poi vederti ridere, poi vederti correre ancora. Dimentica, c'è chi dimentica distrattamente un fiore una domenica, e poi silenzi, e poi silenzi, silenzi.
Sometimes I don't feel in the right mood and would like to receive a phone call that doesn't arrive. I would like someone to prepare my lunch or to reorder my things or help me with my household chores. Here is someone who takes care of me, who embraces me, who drives me in my place from time to time. I don't know if it also happens to you sometimes to feel sad without knowing why, distracted in doing the activities you previously loved, irritable and unable to concentrate. In these moments I would like to be appreciated, to perceive the support of someone, watch a movie with him. Some of my colleagues have confided in me that they feel some anxiety and stress from to be absent from work, both for how it was organized and for the environment. In fact, one feels around that sense of precariousness of work and distrust of the future. Yet there are so many beautiful stories of solidarity. Simple works are of those who knew how to enlighten daily life with a small gesture of help for others. Actions of solidarity to support for those in serious difficulty, such as street children and young people. New Horizons, founded by Chiara Morante, was born with the search for the invisible. Chiara approached people in difficulty around the station terms of Rome and asked them the question, "How are you?" For this simple gesture of affection and closeness a path was born which has led so many lives to be reborn and to regain confidence in the future. In a robotic period like the one we're living through, we should make human characteristics like the compassion, empathy, friendship. Instead, there seems to be a big push to the virtual isolation of many behind the light blue of a flat screen. But if I have 350 Facebook friends, then what do I do on Saturday night just in front of the computer? We are all in the same boat. I do not judge anyone. We accumulate scars in this world of objects, this material paradise, and temporary that too often takes on the face of hell. Before the smartphone, our country was a small ancient world made of plastic mobile phones that made two things alone and with whom paradoxically you could do everything, even gestures of which you no longer remember today. It was a life without Wi-Fi, without apps and without the touch screen. I remember that making the rings meant saying anything. Did you finish the credit? Won't you be called back? You were under his house but you do not want to use the intercom. The ring was used to solve all kinds of problems. What a paranoia it was to have overshot the 160 characters of the SMS. It's easy today to write poems, essays and then share them with WhatsApp. Up to a few years ago words were important and counted because SMS was paid for. So much so that they invented absurd acronyms for save characters. And so the period of mobile phones created a generation of illiterates who wrote with K instead of the CH to save, or that made everything become an acronym. TVUMDB. We were magicians with T9 and we composed phrases without a sense that on the fifth or sixth attempt they became the desired word. And how many run-outs with that snake game, that ever longer snake to pass between obstacles. That dial the ringtone and with the editor invoke it in reproductions, the most courageous of the most varied melodies. We forgot to recharge it for days and didn't have any problems. The battery lasted even 15 days, depending on how much you used it. What memories, eh? As a child, I didn't have the iPhone, the Wii, the PlayStation and the Xbox. I played hide and seek. I returned home when it was dark, and my mother shouted climb on, didn't call me on the cell. I was playing with my friends instead of chatting. There was no antibacterial gel. I got dirty one day and the other as well, and there wasn't the detergent that removed the stain from the first shot. I didn't write SMS to ask if my friend came out. I was going to play. I who at least once have drunk fountain water and I survived. It is a piece of my life and it was a spectacle. We enjoyed ourselves without anything and we were happy. Now even the infants are depressed, stressed, dissatisfied and have everything. Maybe that's just the problem. I'm bored. You ate too many words. Then I sing words of Mina. Is it okay for you? Just a moment to fix myself.
Cosa sei? Che cosa sei? Che cosa sei? Cosa sei? Cambi mai, non cambi mai, non cambi mai, proprio mai. Adesso ormai ci puoi provare, chiamami tormento dai, già che ci sei. Caramelle, non ne voglio più, le rose e i violini, questa sera raccontane un'altra, violini e rose li posso sentire, quando la cosa mi va, se mi va, quando è il momento e dopo si vedrà. Parole, 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 soltanto parole, parole tra noi.
How sad is it to see people depressed, discouraged. Let us make ourselves clear, is not a good time, but when was a good time? There are also those who confuse a lack of self-confidence with humility. To say, "I'm worth nothing, I'm miserable," is not humility but depression. Humility, on the contrary, starts with the right perception of oneself, without fake exaltation, but by appreciating the talents that I must succeed in bringing to fruition. That is, in the light of the masterpiece that I am and that I can become, then I will be able to calmly admit my fragilities, entrust them to the Lord. Sometimes we prefer to be overwhelmed by feelings of guilt rather than objectively looking at our own merits and defects. Help me, Lord, to set out on my journey, even if the horizon seems obscure to me. Help me to abandon my pride, and above all to abandon myself to you. Help me to nourish those without hope with your word. May your angel accompany me, defend me, and make me understand that all life is a great journey. Lord, protect us from all dangers. Let us give you thanks and praise in all your creatures. Yes, our love springs from recognizing that Jesus loves me. He gave all of himself for me. His free love asks us to be able to live the same gratuity with others. Christ loves us, certainly, but when we are depressed, we seem to be busy doing something else. The Lord allows us to be tested by life, never by God. Strengthen our faith simply because it is part of our lives. We may be fragile and in fidelity, but the Lord will loves without any yielding. No one has ever seen God, but if we love one another, God dwells in us, in the small room of our heart. It is waiting to be awakened by our love, translated into words and deeds, for God and the brothers. Our faith becomes announced when it does not remain private and hidden. There is nothing private in the kingdom of God. In this time of crisis, it is important not to be closed in on oneself, but to be open, to be attentive to others. In this regard, listen to this story. One day a king had to leave for a long journey and did not want to leave his castle unattended. Then he promised to. The first who had made himself available was to give the keys to the castle so that he could use all the rooms and live there until he hadn't returned. A young man became available. The king gave him a nice bouquet of keys, but soon the young man realized that the deck lacked a key, that of the main door that the king closed before leaving. The young were forced to live for a long time as a prisoner in the castle. It's true, he had access to every room, but he didn't have the chance to leave the castle or to let anyone in. This became a cause of great sadness for him. We can have many keys in our lives, but without the main key, the one that brings us out of ourselves, by our selfishness, by our laziness. Without that key, which is called love, we will remain prisoners of our own life. Then I chose to sing a song that lets the sky into our rooms.
Quando sei qui con me, questa stanza non ha più pareti, ma alberi, alberi infiniti. Quando sei qui vicino a me, questo soffitto viola non esiste più. Io vedo il cielo sopra noi che restiamo qui, abbandonati come se non ci fosse più niente al mondo. Suona un'armonica, mi sembra organo che vibra per te e per me, su nell'immensità del cielo, per te, per me, nel cielo.
But what is this sky like? Space out there is dark and cold, smells of burnt, and now we can add is pretty sticky. The Milky Way is filled with spatial fat, an oily compound of carbon and hydrogen atoms called aliphatic carbon. This substance is a type of carbon emitted from stars in interstellar space. Researchers have estimated that there may be 11 billion trillion tons. 11 followed by 33 zeros of oily carbon molecules in the galaxy is dirty, toxic, and forms only in the space between one star and another. Lucky that the solar wind prevents this sticky dirt from sticking to accumulate in our planetary system. And how much waste there is in space do you not imagine? Today, most rockets it uses bulky fuel tanks, the weight of which is generally much greater than the payload. This reduces the efficiency of the carrier as well as contributing to the problem of space waste. These parts of the rocket, in fact, come off and end up in orbit after the release of the carried satellite. However, they are trying to minimize the release of space debris into Earth orbit. The idea is an auto-eat rocket capable of vaporizing its engine during launch, an engine capable of to consume its structure during the ascent, transforming it into a useful thrust for the load. It would leave more space to be allocated to smaller launches for commercial satellites and by reducing the costs of space launches. The next step will be to understand how to incorporate this type of engine into a launch vehicle. Friend is about to close the Sunday channel Radio Kasamia that offered you the pastry 292 with a theme. Bring Jesus with you on holiday. I would like your feedback on the YouTube video channel or on Spreaker or on Facebook or by phone if I called you for live, and please you to pass the word to increase listening to this appointment. Thank you for your fidelity to this half hour, and I leave you wishing you all the best. Good evening and a good week to all, and remember to always be in tune with the sweetest radio home.
Un giorno capiremo chi siamo senza dire niente, sembrerà normale immaginare che il mondo scelga di girare attorno a un altro sole. È una casa senza le pareti da costruire nel tempo, costruire dal niente fino alle radici. È il mio regalo per te da dissetare, crescere. Siamo montagne a picco sul mare, dal punto più alto impariamo a volare. Discese pericolose, senza difese, ritorniamo giù a illuminarci come l'estate che adesso brilla, come il mondo prima di te.